My full name is Savita Locker. I moved to States in 2007, long time ago, and then made my home here. And I, till this day, I have no regret moving here, regardless of what had happened. I'm so thankful to be here in this country, and today I'm so thankful to sit with you guys. Very thankful God made that happen, and I got the opportunity. So, 21 years later, here I am, meeting my new friends, my own community. And right now, I'm a healthcare professional. I work for hospitals, and I enjoy what I do. And I noticed I complain too much about my life, but when I started working in the ER, I noticed, oh, God was just like, no, you be thankful and appreciate about your life, because look at these people. And it's sad at the same time. But I'm glad God took me there, and I was able to see what I never saw before. So that makes me more thankful of what I have.
Savi, tell me about a little bit about your journey, your life, when that storm hit in your life.
That's a very long story, but I'm just gonna cut it short. When I first came here, I was by myself, and you come from a very small village from India, and you cross 7 seas to get to a country by yourself, just with two suitcases. And at that time, I had only $500 in my pocket, and I have to send it back a few months later because they needed it back home, my family. So as soon as I found the job, and I sent that money back. So, but I was very young and age and living by myself. It wasn't easy. It was almost 20. And then I lived by myself for like three some years. And then I was working at this Subway. And this lady asked me one day, and I was just working for her, and I was kind of trusted her very much and looked like mother figure in her. She arranged my marriage, long story short. And then I never get to see this guy. Within 20 days, they arranged my wedding, and I was married to this guy. And I was so naive. I was young, by myself. I was scared to be by myself, so I said yes. And they were non-Christians. I thought life would be easy. Now I have someone by myself, but okay. I'm glad this happened to me, because I learned a lot through the process. And at that time, I was so angry that the stuff they put me through, this person was alcoholic to the point he will get drunk and then get so physical. It was so abusive. Like, it just, so those 6 years of domestic violence that I didn't want to, I was so scared. I never called cops. I never, I just like, oh God, God's going to change him. He's going to change him. So it's going to be okay. I was so naive. And at that point, I'm married. This is it. This is my life now. I accepted it, and I prayed and prayed and prayed, but things will keep getting worse, 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 because that was not God's plan. And I actually was young and scared. So I said yes. I could have said no, but I was so scared and naive. And I put up with this for 6 years. In those 6 years, I tried to kill my life 3 times. I tried to kill myself 3 times. And then finally, when God was seeing it, you know what? She's not stopping. I'm going to give her something so precious that she's going to love more than her life. He gave me my daughter. There you go. There's my heart walking around in front of my eyes. There's no way, I can. So I know why God did that. And he's like, she's so stubborn. She's not listening. She's trying, keep trying and trying. So one night, my daughter was 8 months old at that time. And one night, things got out of hand. And at that time, niece and nephew were living in the same house too. Those kids were teenager at that time. They were abandoned by their parents, so they were living in that house as well. They were going through the same situation. They were abusing them too. So the girl, who was 17 at that time, and she's like, I'm done. She called the cops. So when the police came, they saw me, and there was no question asked. There were and my daughter was 8 months old. And that night and today, I never looked back. I never looked back.
You left.
I left. And it wasn't an easy process. It was not, I would say, yes, now I just walked away. But that walking away, it was a lot. We have a big Indian community in this area. everybody boycotted me. Everybody did. If they will see me at the grocery store, they will just turn around and then act like they didn't even see me. Like, don't. Being in America, we call it a country of opportunity, freedom, and that those people will do that to me. But the process was very hard. But what I gained full custody of my daughter. I gained my freedom, and it took me like 3 years to get done with everything. It took a little longer because I wanted the full custody of my daughter, which that's all I prayed about it, and God gave it to me. That man was out of the picture. My daughter is 11 now. She never saw him. He never, you know, came around, and I'm so happy about it. So, but going through walked when I was walking on that path, it was definitely very difficult. But I learned so much about life, about people, and that actually brought me so close to God, so close to God.
So
So
while you were going through like the 6 years of violence and abuse, both emotionally, physically, what about like leaving the situation, but what held you back?
it was my daughter.
Your daughter.
It was my daughter, and I'll tell you that that kid is special. Marrying him was never in God's plan. It was, we make mistakes. It was not God's plan. Definitely, it put me years behind and took a detour. I was praying, praying, and praying. And I would just like in the night, I'm laying on the bed and I was just saying, why these people don't love me the way I love them?
Mm-hmm.
Why? And why this is happening to me? Why I'm not getting the love back? After some time, he gave me my daughter. He gave all that love back, like he multiplies, when he gives back. And it all made sense. It all made
Mm-hmm.
sense. But at that time when I was going through it, that torture, that physical abuse, you know um, you forget everything else, but you don't forget when somebody slaps on your face. That don't go away. So when people come, when some women like there are some women in my circle who go through the similar stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I take it too personally and I get angry, like, why are you doing this? But you have to go through the process to understand why.
Mm-hmm.
It's a path you have to walk. So I had to walk on that path. Today it makes sense because that's how God gives testimony. He
So
has
who
his
you are today.
own ways,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not an easy one. These tears are not the tears of pain or sadness. I am so thankful. I am the living proof of his goodness, and we'll never stop talking about it. We'll never.